Hi, my name's Shauna Hackett, and this is my video blog for why I'm marketable for Foundations of Education. The reason I believe I'm marketable is because I've had many years of experience working with children. Most of them have been who've had emotional disorders. This has all occurred in residential treatment facilities, and most recently I'm working in a children's psychiatric hospital that I've been doing that for close to a year now. To provide you a little background on my education, I attended Bethany College from 1987 to 1991 and obtained my bachelor's degree in history with administration of justice. I wasn't sure where I was going with this other than that I wanted to work with children, basically juveniles, and after having a series of jobs, I happened to stumble into the field of residential treatment facilities. I got my first job in, I believe it was October of 1992, working for Family and Children's Center in Mishawaka, Indiana. I started out working, these were children with emotional disorders, and I started out working on a all-boys unit, which the ages ranged between 6 and 18 years of age. They were extreme conduct disorder and oppositional defiant. I basically was thrown into the mix and I learned as I went, and I would not suggest anybody to be taught like that, but I learned real quick, and I learned that I was good at the job. From there I went on to work with female adolescents with borderline personality disorders, mood disorders, some schizophrenic, and then after working on that unit for a couple of years, I went on to work for 6+ years with juvenile sex offenders, and there I helped run the program. I also taught relapse prevention to juvenile sex offenders between the ages of 10 and 17. I was a supervisor on the unit, and then I ended up becoming the unit supervisor for a couple years. From there I went on to be what they call a senior campus charge, and that is where I oversaw the campus, the running of the campus, making sure all staff were following policies and all children were kept safe. I would respond to any crisis on campus that required a call to the psychiatrist to get an order for a restraint or a seclusion. I would mentor staff members on how to better handle a difficult child, or if I saw that maybe that they could handle them differently, I would give my suggestions. I worked with the treatment teams on determining the different levels of treatment for the clients, and I did this for I did it from 1991 to 2006, and then eventually I was burned out and I moved back to Kansas, because this was in Indiana, and I moved back to Kansas, and for 4 years I worked as a dispatcher. 3 years as a Kansas Highway Patrol dispatcher, and 1 year as a 911 dispatcher for Reno County. I liked the jobs, and it gave me a lot of experience on how to multitask, how to think quickly on my feet, and it was a very interesting job, but I missed working with children. So less than a year ago, I moved back to the Hayes area, and I was hired at a local children's hospital, where I'm back doing what I was doing at Family and Children's Center up in Indiana. The difference between Indiana and what I'm doing here in Kansas is this is a hospital. We do have residential treatment, but it's a shorter term than it was in Indiana. Indiana was more of a long term. I had clients there between 2 and 3 years, and here in Kansas we don't keep them longer than 6 months. I'm Currently, I work the night shift. I am a campus charge, and I work alongside the nurses and have administrative work that I do, as well as oversee a staff of 3 to 4 on my shift as well. I just recently went back to school. I've decided that I want to shift my career a little bit back to teaching. So I went back to school in the fall of 2010 here at Fort Hays State University, and I'm currently working on getting my teaching certificate. Some may say, well, why do you want to go into teaching now? I think because in order to advance further in the field that I'm in now, I would have to get my degree in or my master's in social work or be a counselor, and I'm not really interested in going into that area. I come from a long line of teachers. My mother was a teacher, as well as her sister, and her parents were teachers. My dad has 2 sisters that are teachers, so it's kind of in the family. It's something that I've never been passionate about, but most recently, the more I think about it, the more passionate I become. And I think you need that in order to be a teacher, especially in this day and age. I, of course, have the patience. From working in the field that I have, I've gained a lot of patience. Obviously, I've learned how to multitask very well, which you need as a teacher. You also have to make quick decisions, which I've learned through not only working with emotional disorders, but also through my dispatching. Overall, I think with my history and the experience that I've had, that it makes me very marketable. I do plan on going into special education, and I am getting my special ed minor. And I hope that the further I get into my studies, the more I'll learn how to teach. I'm not real confident in that area right now, but like I stated, I was in charge of running groups, and I did run a unit myself, so I have a bit of experience of how to teach, but I'm looking forward to building on those skills and eventually being as good a teacher as I have in my family. So I think with all that, I will be very marketable in the future.